Worlds Collide, a BL story by Adrenaline.
Act 1, Part 1, Two Worlds. Carter sits alone in the back of a black SUV, window tinted. Downtown Taipei streaks past at night, neon, humid, alive, the occasional flare of a sign and characters he still can't read after 3 weeks here. He watches it the way someone watches a fire through glass. He's been awake after a long night of filming but doesn't look tired. He looks contained. His phone beeps and the screen lights up. 3 messages from Maria. He reads them without responding. A 4th arrives.
Don't forget about the GQ interview at 8 a.m. Love you.
He locks the screen, looks out the window. On his lap, half hidden under his jacket, a prescription bottle. His hand rests near it. He doesn't open it. Not yet. "20 minutes away, and 20 worlds apart. Brandon Wong is mopping the floor of a 24-hour convenience store that does not need to be mopped again. The store is empty except for a drunk businessman sleeping on a bench outside. His shift ends in 20 minutes. He has to be at the coffee shop in 5 hours. His phone buzzes. A message from an unknown number. Then it resolves. Mr. Shi.
Rent due, Friday, no extension.
Brandon reads it, puts the phone face down, keeps mopping. A customer comes in, young woman, a little dressed up, the residue of a better night still on her. He rings her up without quite looking at her. She tries to make something of the interaction. He is not unkind. He is simply somewhere else. She leaves with her receipt and the quiet dignity of someone who tried and will try again somewhere else. The door swings shut behind her. Brandon watches it close. He pulls a small, worn sketchbook from under the counter, opens it to a half-finished drawing, something abstract, architectural, beautiful. He stares at it for a moment, then closes it, puts it back. Not yet. Not tonight. Act 1, Part 2, Carter. A boardroom, all glass and steel, the kind of room designed to make people feel small, and succeeding. 2 men face each other across a long table. The air between them is a held breath. At the head of the table stands Chen, commanding, dangerously still, the particular calm of a man who has never needed to raise his voice because the room has always done it for him. He owns this space and everything in it, and he knows it, and he wants the other man to know it too. At the other end, Marcus, leaner, younger, cornered. His jaw is set, his hands flat on the table, not broken, not even close, but he knows exactly what he walked into and he's still standing in it. We don't know yet that they're acting.
Action!
You came into my house, sat at my table, took what I offered you, and then you went to them?
I went where the deal made sense.
That was the last mistake you'll make in this industry.
Maybe, but I'll make it standing up.
Get out of my building.
Cut. Scene.
Huang Zhan rolls his shoulders and stops being Chen. The stillness drops away instantly, replaced by the easy confidence of a man who knows he just did something well and is already enjoying it. Carter turns from the door and stops being Marcus. He steps out of the character the way you step out of a coat, and what's underneath is smaller, more careful. His eyes drop first, a private reset, before he looks up and rejoins the room. This is what it looks like when actors are completely inside their craft. Two men who just inhabited something larger and darker than themselves, and did it so completely that the room believed every second of it. Huangzhan was never Chen. Marcus was never Carter. For the duration of that scene, they were entirely someone else.
You were amazing in that last exchange. You gave me something new on the third take. The hands on the table. Where did that come from?
Felt right.
You're interesting when you're backed into a corner. On screen and off, I think.
The comment lands somewhere between professional and not. Carter looks at him, not coldly, not warmly, just clearly.
I'm going to the monitors to see how the scene played out.
Huang Jian watches him go. The grin doesn't leave. If anything, it sharpens, the look of someone who finds resistance more interesting than welcome. Carter's trailer is the one place on set that belongs entirely to him. Right now, it doesn't feel like enough. He's on the couch, jacket off, shoes off. His hands are slightly shaking, a glass of water on the table and the prescription bottle beside it. A few of the small brown pills fall into his palm. He takes one, puts the rest back in the bottle, lies back, closes his eyes, waits for the shaking to stop. Carter is awoken by the familiar ringtone on his phone. The name on the screen, Maria. He takes a small breath before he answers.
Hey, Mom.
How was filming?
Good. Scene went well.
Angela happy?
Angela's always happy when the work is good.
The 14th is coming up. 8 years. I still can't.
She stops herself, the anger right there beneath the surface. Not grief exactly, something sharper than grief.
He didn't even have the decency to die on the way home.
Mom?
I know, every year it comes back.
I talked to Desmond last week. He's doing well, still stationed in Japan.
Good for him.
He lost the same person we did, Mom.
We are not doing this today, Carter.
He doesn't push. He knows this wall. Stopped trying to move it years ago.
Okay. You brought Dad up.
Look, Meridian Studios is being relentless. They need a decision before the end of the month. I've looked over the new script and the potential revenue. I think you should take it.
Send me the revised script tonight.
Already in your email. Before I forget, I'm coming out in a few weeks.
I'll make sure to take off that day.
Get some rest, son. I love you.
Carter holds the phone a moment longer than necessary. His eyes move to the prescription bottle on the table. He picks it up, looks at it, sets it back down, lies back on the couch and stares at the ceiling. Act 1, Part 3, Brandon. 12:47 a.m. Brandon Wong has 13 minutes. His passenger, a middle-aged man in a loosened suit, spills out onto the pavement before the car has fully stopped, with the careful exaggeration of someone trying very hard to appear sober. Brandon is already out, already around the car, steadying the man by the elbow without being asked. He mutters something in Mandarin. Gratitude or complaint. Hard to tell. Brandon gives a short, practiced bow and watches just long enough to confirm he makes the door. Then he's already moving, crossing the street toward a second car idling at the corner, gets in, drops the keys on the seat. The other driver pulls away, without a word exchanged. The clock on the dashboard reads 12:51 a.m. Brandon Wong has 8 minutes. Bravo Oasis Bar is the kind of place that sells the feeling of being chosen. The main floor glitters, crystal glasses, the slow movement of people who have nowhere else to be and money to prove it. Brandon moves through it like he's part of the architecture. Dark clothing, unhurried, tray in hand, he knows every corner of this place without looking. Brandon pushes through to the back of the bar and takes the stairs up to the private rooms. At the top, a set of heavy curtains, the kind that exists specifically to keep what's happening on the other side from reaching anyone who wasn't invited. He pulls them aside and steps through. The rooms are close and dim, each one sealed behind its own curtain. Inside, low tables, bottles of things that cost more than Brandon makes in a week, men in expensive shirts leaning back with the ease of people who own everything in their eyeline, women beside them, against them, dressed to be looked at, aware of it, performing it. Brandon enters the first room to collect glasses. Efficient, eyes down. One of the women, early 20s, sequined, something pink in her glass, catches his eye and gives him a small smile. Not flirtatious, familiar. Brandon gives the smallest nod back. Keeps moving. The next room, same story. A woman near the door touches his arm lightly as he reaches past her for a glass. He doesn't pull away. He simply isn't there, already counting glasses, already thinking about the next thing. He's not ignoring them. He simply has no bandwidth for being seen tonight. Johnny is behind the bar, shaking something with the theatrical commitment of a man who considers bartending a performing art. He spots Brandon and leans across the counter without breaking his pour.
Okay, you didn't hear this from me.
I never hear anything from you.
There's a film shooting nearby. Big production, international cast. Word is some of them may stop by this weekend.
Good for them. I'm headed to private room 4.
Completely wasted on him.
Brandon walks through Wanhua at 3 a.m., a different city than the one he just left. No glitter here, no bottles that cost more than a week's wages. Narrow streets, old buildings pressed close together, laundry lines overhead, a flickering light above a doorway. His body carries the specific exhaustion of someone who has been useful to everyone else for 8 hours straight and is only now being allowed to stop. He rounds the corner onto his street, and the Mindong tenement comes into view, the building he has lived in his entire life, 4 floors of worn concrete and other people's cooking smells pressing up against the sky. He knows every crack in this pavement, takes the stairs, and somewhere around the second landing his footsteps go quiet, a habit so old he doesn't notice it anymore. His body knows how to come home without disturbing anything. Brandon's apartment is small and worn in the way of places that have housed a lot of living. In the corner of the main room, a hospital bed. Grandma asleep in it, small, beneath her blanket, her breathing shallow but steady. Mrs. Wong is on the couch, still in her work clothes, asleep over a folded blanket she didn't quite get around to opening. The television is on and muted, throwing pale light across her face. Brandon stands in the doorway a moment, takes it in. He crosses to the couch, drapes the blanket over his mother properly, pauses, looks at her face. Something moves across his expression, quiet, unreadable. The look of someone who has been doing this long enough that the love and the weight of it have become the same thing. Then he turns toward the hallway at the back. The room is small. The bed barely fits. But the walls are covered. Drawings everywhere. Pinned, taped, layered. No system, no gallery logic. Just accumulation. Some are delicate and precise. Architectural shapes, impossible structures, figures caught mid-motion. Some burst with color, almost violent in their brightness against the dim room. Some are darker, fractured forms, heavy lines, something that needed to get out and finally did. It's the most alive room in the apartment, the most alive room in Brandon's entire life. He sits on the edge of the bed, reaches under it, pulls out the sketchbook, opens to a blank page, and starts to draw. Just his hand moving, steady, certain, nothing like the careful, invisible man from the bar, or the street, or the stairwell. This is the only place. He doesn't disappear. Act 1, Part 4. Same city. Brandon's hand finds the alarm before his eyes open. He silences it, lies there one beat, just one, then sits up. On the nightstand, a folded note, his mother's handwriting, small and neat, in Mandarin.
Noodles in the fridge. Eat them. Gone to the market. Back later.
He reads it twice, sets it back down carefully like it's worth keeping. In the kitchen, he reheats the noodles, portions some into a smaller bowl, then carries it to Grandma's bedside. She's awake today, eyes open, tracking him as he pulls the chair close. He says something soft in Mandarin. She doesn't respond with words, but her eyes follow the bowl. He feeds her slowly, unhurried, the way someone does a thing they have done 1,000 times and will do 1,000 more. No drama. Just this. Brandon rounds the corner toward the convenience store in his usual dark clothing, the usual unhurried pace, the usual quality of blending into whatever street he walks down. He pushes through the door. A coworker behind the counter glances up, a small nod exchanged, the greeting of people who share shifts, not lives. The store goes still. Brandon is at the register, sketchbook open on the counter in front of him, the pen moving, the rest of the world on mute. The page facing up, a cityscape in black and white, precise line work. But the city is wrong in the best way. Towers that twist, bridges that shouldn't hold, a skyline that belongs to no place that has ever existed. Brandon doesn't look up. Footsteps move through the store, unhurried, someone who knows what they want. A few items land on the counter, snacks, water. He sets the pen down, looks up. Carter Bell stands across the counter from him. No recognition passes between them. Brandon sees a tall, quietly put-together foreigner in plain clothes. Carter sees a young man with a sketchbook who took his time looking up. Brandon scans the items one by one, then glances at the foreigner across the counter and switches to English without thinking about it.
$420?
Clean, barely their accent, soft-spoken, the kind of English that stops a person for just a second, not because it's surprising, but because of how completely it sounds like home. Carter pauses, a small thing, barely visible.
Are you American?
No.
One word. The answer so complete it lands like a door closing. Carter takes the card reader, taps his card. As he does, his eyes move to the sketchbook one last time, the twisted towers, the impossible bridges. He picks up his bag.
Cool drawing.
Brandon watches him go. Something about the interaction sitting with him in a way most transactions don't. He pulls the sketchbook back toward him, looks at the drawing a moment, then turns to a fresh page. Picks up his pen. Act 1, Part 5. Bravo. 40 floors up and a world away. Carter is on the couch of his penthouse suite at the Royal Taipei, lounging in sweats, the convenience store snacks open on the cushion beside him, the Tamsui River glittering below and the dark line of the mountains beyond it filling every window. The sound of his phone breaks the quiet. Carter looks at the screen. Wong. He answers.
Carter, what are you doing right now? We have 2 nights off. Don't sit in that penthouse alone. Come out. There are people worth meeting. Industry people. Good ones. I know a place.
What kind of place?
The kind with good whiskey and better company. I'll send a car.
It's after midnight when the car drops Carter at the Bravo Oasis, the kind of place you only find if you already know it exists. He moves through the main floor, head down, collar up, the practiced invisibility of someone famous navigating public space. The music is heavy. The floor is full. He climbs a flight of stairs to a private room. The sign at the door reads, Private Room 3. The door opens. A set of curtains pulls aside. The room is full and warm. Industry faces. Beautiful people arranged across low couches, karaoke playing at a volume that allows conversation. Wong looks up the moment Carter walks in, the way he always does, like his eyes found Carter before his mind did.
You came. Sit. Drink something. You look like a man who needs to remember he's not working.
Carter sits, takes the glass offered, looks around the room. Not unfriendly, just measuring. For the first time in days, the cage is slightly open. Brandon pushes through the staff entrance for his shift. Johnny is already there, moving fast, the particular energy of a man managing more than he expected. He spots Brandon and crosses to him immediately.
You're early. Perfect. Those celebrities I mentioned last night. Private Room 3. They need clearing and a refresh. Go.
Brandon pulls the curtain aside and steps into Private Room 3. The room hits him all at once. Laughter, music, a dozen conversations in 3 languages, beautiful people in expensive clothes, loose and happy and taking up space. He moves to the table, starts clearing, efficient, eyes down. Wong looks up. His gaze lands on Brandon and stays there. A slow, deliberate look, the kind that takes inventory. A smile spreads, unhurried. He tilts his head slightly, studying this quiet, striking young man who walked in like he was trying not to be noticed and somehow achieved the opposite. Across the table, Carter looks up too. Something registers. Not quite recognition, more like the specific texture of a moment he's been in before. The convenience store, the sketchbook, the one-word answer. He says nothing. Wang Jian leans forward slightly and calls out his order in Mandarin over the noise of the room.
Can we get another bottle? The Yamazaki.
The order landing in Brandon's native tongue like it was always meant to find him there. He looks up briefly, nods once, gathers the empty glasses onto the tray, leaves without a word. The curtain falls behind him. Huang Zan watches it settle, the smile still in place. Carter looks down at his glass. The night wears on. At some point, Carter sets his glass down, says something quiet to the room and slips away from the table. The music follows him down the corridor and then doesn't. He pushes through the bathroom door. It's empty. He takes the last stall, locks it, sits down on the closed lid. From his coat pocket, the prescription bottle, smaller than the one in the trailer, travel-sized. He shakes two into his palm, looks at them, swallows both, washes them down with the wine. He leans his head back against the wall. The music pulses through the tile. He closes his eyes. Johnny is on the phone when Brandon arrives at the counter. He hangs up the moment he sees him. One of those conversations that ends faster when the right person walks in.
Private room 3, one of the guests, a celebrity, he's down. Take my car in the garage. Get him out quietly. No front entrance, no phones out, nothing. If reporters get wind of this, the police will follow and then we're a story.
Which celebrity is it?
The American.
Act 1, Part 6, The American. Brandon heads for the back stairs, taking them two at a time. Private room 3 has thinned, a few people remaining, the energy of a night winding down whether it wants to or not, the music still playing but no one really listening anymore. Brandon spots Carter immediately on the corner of the couch, not dramatically sprawled, just passed out, head back, completely still, the wine glass tilted in his loose hand. He looks pale. He looks like something that has stopped. Brandon crouches beside him, a hand near his mouth, breathing, slow, but there.
Thank you for helping. He just went out too fast, I think.
Can you help me get him up?
They move Carter between them. Dead weight but manageable. His head lolls. He mutters something indistinct. Brandon arranges him in the back seat, checks his airway, a small automatic gesture practiced and calm. The gesture of someone who has done this before, for people he loved, in rooms that didn't look anything like this one. Huangzhan straightens up, looks at Brandon properly for the first time standing still. The look from the private room is back, slower now, more considered.
You're good in a crisis.
Huang looks Brandon up and down, the appraising eye of someone who has been in this industry long enough to know exactly what it looks for.
You have a very pretty face. You know that?
Brandon blinks, says nothing. Huangzhan reaches into his jacket, pulls out a card, clean, minimal, a production company logo.
I run a production company. You could be a model, make more than what this place pays you. Think about it.
Brandon takes the card, looks at it briefly, tucks it into his pocket.
Thank you.
Brandon pulls into the garage of the Royal Taipei. A uniformed attendant steps forward, then stops when he sees the passenger in the back. Recognition crosses his face immediately. He moves to Brandon's window without being waved over. He speaks quietly. Private entrance, east corridor, service elevator, penthouse code. All of it delivered with the practiced discretion of someone paid specifically for this. Brandon listens, nods once, pulls forward. The corridor is empty and dim. Brandon gets Carter out of the back seat, gets his arm over his shoulder. Carter stirs slightly, not conscious, just reacting to movement. He mumbles something. Brandon adjusts his grip and moves toward the elevator. Brandon looks straight ahead as the elevator climbs. Carter's head drops forward as Brandon steadies him without looking. The doors open to the penthouse floor. The penthouse opens up like an exhale. Vast, immaculate, the kind of space designed to communicate exactly how much everything cost. Art on the walls, the Tamsui River glittering through floor-to-ceiling glass on every side. Brandon moves through it without pausing, without looking around. This kind of wealth stopped impressing him a long time ago. He has driven enough people home to enough places like this. He finds the bedroom, gets Carter to the bed, and then, with the quiet efficiency of someone who has done this for the people he loves his entire life, he does what needs doing. Shoes off, set aside, jacket off, folded, Carter positioned on his side, a glass of water from the bathroom left on the nightstand within reach. One last check. Breathing, positioned, safe. Carter surfaces slowly, light coming in from everywhere. He forgot to close anything. He blinks at the ceiling like a man reconstructing a timeline from evidence. He doesn't remember leaving the club, doesn't remember the car, doesn't remember anything after the bathroom. His eyes move to the dresser. His jacket, folded, his shoes beside it, placed neatly together. He looks at them a long moment. Someone brought him home. Someone put him to bed. He reaches for the water glass on the nightstand, takes a long sip. Carter's laying on the couch, phone to his ear, dressed but barely, coffee in hand. He looks like a man making peace with the night before.
I don't remember how I got home.
The boy from the bar, the one clearing our room, he drove you.
He works at the club?
Among other things, apparently. I gave him my card.
Okay. Thanks again for the invite, Zan.
Next time, stay conscious.
The store is empty. Brandon at the register, sketchbook open, pen moving. He doesn't look up when the door chimes. Footsteps cross the floor and stop at the counter. He looks up. Carter stands there. No snacks this time. Just him.
I heard I have you to thank for getting me home.
You're fine.
The security at that building. How'd you get through all of that?
You're not the first passed out customer I've had to bring home from there.
The smallest beat of something almost like dry humor crosses Brandon's face. Carter looks at him, then laughs. A real one, short and unguarded. It surprises even him slightly.
Fair enough. Look, if there's anything I can do to say thanks properly.
I was just doing my job.
Carter looks at him a moment. He's not going to move him with words, and he can sense it. He reaches into his jacket, pulls out an envelope, sets it on the counter between them, doesn't explain it, doesn't wait for a response.
Take care.
Brandon watches him go, not starstruck, not suspicious, just watching. Then he picks up the envelope, opens it. Crisp bills, neat and substantial. He counts once, stops. It's enough. The exact particular weight of enough. Rent, this month, handled, gone. Just like that. By a stranger who walked in, said almost nothing, and left. He smiles. Small, private, almost involuntary. The expression of a man who didn't see it coming and doesn't quite know what to do with the fact that it arrived. He looks at the envelope, then at the door, then back at his sketchbook.
You're about halfway through Worlds Collide, and let's just say things are about to get complicated. Like, subscribe, and comment below. I want to know where you think this is heading.
Act 1, Part 7. Driver. The Mindong tenement building has the quality of places that have housed too much living for too long. Worn walls, a fluorescent tube overhead that flickers on a schedule no one has ever bothered to fix, Brandon walks the lower corridor the way he walks every space he has to move through, without looking like he belongs to it, without looking like he doesn't. He stops at the door near the end, knocks. Mr. Shi takes one look at Brandon, and his face does what it always does, tightens, the expression of a man who formed an opinion years ago and has found no reason to revisit it. His eyes drop immediately to the envelope.
This month and next.
Mr. Shi counts without trying to look like he's counting. Something shifts in his face when he finishes. Not warmth. Something that lives in the same neighborhood as pleasure, but has worse intentions.
Both months. At once? What happened? You steal it from one of your jobs? Or finally sell that pretty face of yours? You were late 3 times this year, now you're suddenly on time.
Brandon says nothing. He has never once given this man a reaction. He is not starting today. He turns, walks back down the corridor. Mr. Shi stands in the doorway behind him, envelope in hand, watching him go with an expression that has nowhere to land. He takes the stairs to his floor, and somewhere around the second landing his footsteps go quiet. His mother is home, jacket on, bag over her shoulder, caught mid-departure. And then she sees him. Something happens to her face that is one of the best things Brandon gets to witness on any given day. The specific brightness of a woman who wasn't expecting her son and got him anyway. She speaks in Mandarin, warm, already moving to let him in, her hand brushing his arm as he passes.
You're back. Good timing. Food's in the fridge. Grandma had lunch already. She's resting.
Brandon steps inside, sets his things down. His eyes go to the table. A small folded stack of bills, what she could put aside this week. He knows without counting roughly how long it took her to save it.
I have to open the restaurant. I'll be back before your night shift. There's some rent money on the table. I put aside what I could.
I already paid it.
What? Brandon? Where did you...
Bonus from work. A good one. Don't go to Shi about it. Don't tell him anything. He'll find a reason to ask for more.
She looks at him, the relief arriving too fast with the guilt right behind it. Both of them needing somewhere to go at the same time. The set of her jaw, the thing she does with her eyes when she is trying very hard not to make him feel like he has done something wrong by doing something right.
Okay, son.
She adjusts her bag, pauses at the door one last time, then leaves. Brandon stands in the apartment. On the table, his mother's folded bills. He picks them up, holds them in his palm for a moment, the weight of what they cost her, then carries them to the kitchen, tucks them behind the rice jar, where they'll keep. Then he goes to his room. He is almost asleep when his phone buzzes. A dispatch notification from the driving line. Private request. Pick up at the Royal Taipei. This evening. He reads it twice, sets the phone on his chest, looks at the ceiling, at the drawings pinned there, the one corner of the room that is entirely his. Could be anyone. The Royal Taipei lobby in the early evening is warm marble and amber light, and the quiet confidence of a building that has never had to try. Brandon moves through the entrance in his usual dark clothing, unhurried, unremarkable, present without being noticed. The front desk clerk looks up as he approaches. She is about his age, bright-eyed, genuinely warm in the way that good hospitality people sometimes are. Not performance, actual warmth. She gives him the real smile, not the professional one.
Welcome to Royal Taipei. How can I help you?
Driver request. Pick up from here.
Of course. The car's in the private garage out back. I'll contact the guest. He'll meet you there. It's all the way down that hallway. You'll see the signage.
Thank you.
He heads for the hallway. Behind him, the clerk watches him go for just a beat longer than the transaction required. Brandon doesn't notice. He never does. The private garage is exactly as he left it. Same concrete, same low light, same quiet of a space designed to keep what happens inside it from reaching anywhere else. Carter comes through in a dark jacket, sunglasses pushed up, moving with the ease of someone slightly behind schedule who has made his peace with it. He spots Brandon and raises a hand in greeting.
Brandon, right? Car's this way.
He leads him further into the garage and stops. The car is matte black and low to the ground, and it sits under the garage light, the way certain things sit in certain lights, like it knows exactly what it looks like. Wing doors folded shut, the kind of machine that has a name that means something to people who know what names mean. Carter pulls the key fob from his jacket, holds it out. Brandon looks at him properly for the first time. Carter's color is wrong, too pale, a sheen at his temples. He reaches for a face mask in his jacket pocket, and his hands are not entirely steady as he puts it on.
Are you sure you don't need to call in a sick day?
I took some medication earlier. I'll be fine. You can drive manual?
Yes.
The interior of the car wraps around Brandon like a cockpit, low and tight, carbon fiber and leather and surfaces he doesn't have names for. He settles into the seat, reaches for the door. The door does not behave like a door. It swings upward instead of out, a scissor door, hinged at the front, rising toward the roof. He tries to pull it down and closed. It resists. He tries again, pulling from the wrong point, and the door swings back up instead of sealing. He tries a third time. The same result. From the passenger seat, Carter watches this with the composed patience of someone being quietly entertained and choosing, very deliberately, not to show it. Carter reaches across, not quite over Brandon, just enough, and grips the interior handle near the top of the door, pulling it down and forward in one smooth motion until it seats flush against the frame with a solid click.
First time in a Lamborghini?
First time in anything with doors like that.
Fair. The rest of it is just a car. Mostly.
Brandon looks at the wheel, the gear shift, the instrument cluster glowing in the low light. He takes one quiet breath. Not nerves. Assessment. Finding the edges of the thing. Deciding. The sound that fills the garage is not like other sounds. Deep and layered and alive in the specific way of something built to go very fast and aware of it. It fills the concrete space completely, then settles into a low thrum Brandon can feel through the seat, through his hands on the wheel. He looks at Carter.
Address?
Carter reaches forward and punches it into the navigation system. A route populates on the screen. Night shoot location. 22 minutes away.
Try not to scratch it.
No promises.
Act 1. Part 8. Trailer. The car rolls slowly through the location entrance. Ahead, trailers lined up in a row, cables running across the ground like roots, light rigs blazing in the distance where the actual shoot is being dressed, crew moving with purpose everywhere.
The trailer's over there. That one with my name on it.
Brandon follows the direction, pulls up alongside a large double-wide trailer, cuts the engine. Carter doesn't get out immediately. He removes the face mask. His condition seems vastly improved from the start of the drive, the color returning, the steadiness back in his hands.
I booked you for the whole night. I don't know how long the shoot runs. Could be 3 hours, could be 6. Go wait in the trailer. There's water, food. Help yourself to whatever's in there.
Carter gets out, jacket on, already shifting into work mode before his feet hit the ground, already moving toward the lights without looking back. Brandon sits in the driver's seat a moment, takes in the spread of the location, the scale of it, the lights, the controlled disorder of it all. Then he reaches for the door. Opens it cleanly this time, steps out, closes it behind him without a second thought. A small thing. He doesn't notice it himself. The trailer is modest with clean lines, nothing cluttered. A couch along one wall beside a closed bathroom door, a small kitchen area, snacks on the counter, a mini fridge underneath, everything neat, everything in its place. Brandon steps in, looks around once, taking inventory the way he does every room he enters. He checks the bathroom first, a black toiletry bag on the sink, the usual things arranged beside it, shaver, cologne, some bottles of medication, hair products. None of it registers as out of place. He heads back to the kitchen area. Then he notices it. On the counter beside the snacks, an espresso machine, compact, matte black, the kind that costs more than it looks like it should. He crosses to it, examines it, opens the small canister beside it. Whole beans, good ones, the smell reaching him before he's fully opened the lid. He finds the grinder, finds the portafilter, checks the water reservoir, then leans against the counter and waits for it. Outside, distant and muffled, loud voices, the click of a slate, the first sounds of a scene beginning. In here, just the espresso machine, and Brandon, taking up exactly as much space as he needs. Carter reaches the set perimeter. Crew parts around him naturally, the particular gravity of a lead actor arriving. Wong is already there, half in costume, arms folded. He clocks Carter coming, and the smile arrives unhurried, the smile of a man who has been waiting and enjoyed it.
40 minutes late.
I know.
Is that the kid who took you home the other night? Now I see why you're late.
Don't get it twisted. He's just my driver.
He moves past Huang Jian toward makeup without breaking stride. Huang Jian watches him go. The smile stays, but something behind it adjusts, recalibrates, files the information away. Later, the set still running into the night. Brandon is on the couch, a notepad open on his knee, not his sketchbook, just a plain pad he found on the counter, but the hand moving across it is the same hand, focused, certain. The espresso cup sits empty on the small table beside him. Brandon looks up. Carter steps in, and he looks different. Hair styled back, clean and structured, makeup smoothing his face into something camera-ready. He looks like the version of himself the world pays to see. He stops when he sees Brandon, then clocks the espresso cup.
You got that thing working?
Yes.
I've been trying for 2 weeks.
Do you want a cup?
Sure.
Carter heads to the bathroom. The door closes. Inside, he reaches for the toiletry bag, the side pocket, the pills he keeps a secret from the world. He reaches for the bottle. Carter comes out and drops onto the couch. Jacket off, collar loosened, the costume still on but the performance of it dialed back. He watches Brandon at the machine. Brandon moves through it the same way he moves through everything. No wasted motion, no performance. Grind, tamp, pull. The trailer fills with the smell again. Carter watches him without meaning to. The particular quality of Brandon's stillness, the way he takes up only the space the task requires and no more. He's smiling before he realizes it. Brandon crosses to the couch, holds out the cup. Carter takes it, looks at it, takes a sip. Something happens on his face. A small, genuine light. Not performed appreciation. Actual surprise.
That's really good.
Thanks. It would taste better with filtered water.
Carter looks at him, then laughs. A real one, short and unprepared. He takes another sip, looks at Brandon over the cup, this quiet, unhurried person on the other end of his couch who just made the best espresso he's had since leaving Los Angeles and immediately identified what would make it better.
What were you drawing?
Just passing time.
I noticed the sketchbook. First time I came into the store. That's a real skill. The cityscape, those structures, that's not a hobby.
It's just something I do. It's nothing special.
My hobby is collecting trading cards.
Like Pokemon?
Not just Pokemon, mainly baseball cards and other sports. I started it with my dad as a kid. I have books of them, including Pokemon. You have actual talent and you're calling it nothing.
The faintest something crosses Brandon's face. Not quite a smile. Not dismissal either. He looks back down at the notepad.
Pokemon cards are fun.
Not just Pokemon.
Brandon is up before Carter moves, crosses to the door, opens it. Tao, a young PA, early 20s, clipboard in hand, is standing at the door. His eyes land on Brandon and stop. A beat of confusion, the expression of someone who expected an empty trailer and got something else entirely. Carter calls out from the couch without looking up, just his voice, easy, letting Tao know he's there. Tao snaps back, looks past Brandon toward Carter.
10 minutes, Mr. Bell.
Tao lingers half a second longer than necessary, one more glance at Brandon, then heads back toward the set. Carter is already on his feet, jacket back on, the performance reassembling itself around him. He picks up the espresso cup, finishes it, sets it down.
It's going to be a long night. Help yourself to whatever's in the fridge.
He pauses at the door, looks back once. Brandon is already back on the couch, notepad open, pen moving. Carter watches him for exactly 1 second, then leaves. Act 1, Part 9. Deal. Downtown Taipei moves past the windows in slow motion. The street's nearly empty. A delivery truck here, a lone scooter there. The light is the color of something not yet decided. Brandon drives, eyes on the road. Carter is in the passenger seat, jacket undone, the camera-ready version of himself fully dissolved now. Just a man at the end of a long night.
Sorry about the hours. That ran longer than I thought it would.
It's fine.
I'll add extra to the rate. For waiting. I hope I didn't pull you away from another job tonight. Or keep someone waiting at home.
Brandon glances at the road, processes the question at face value.
Just my mom and grandma. They're usually asleep by the time I get in anyway.
Must be lively.
Not really. My mom works the hours I'm not working. My grandma isn't well. It's been like that for as long as I can remember.
I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
The car moves through an empty intersection. The city holds its breath in the early light. Silence settles between them. Not uncomfortable, just present. Brandon navigates the car into the private garage of the Royal Taipei, finds the spot, pulls in clean, cuts the engine. Neither of them moves immediately. Carter's hands find his jacket pockets. He looks at the garage wall. Something working behind his expression. A calculation, or something that wants to be a question and hasn't quite committed yet. Carter opens his mouth, closes it, then...
I need a full-time driver. I don't know Taipei, and with my profile, I need someone who understands discretion. You already proved that. I'll pay 2,000 USD a week for 3 months, on call, irregular hours, long shifts, errands, pickups, whatever comes up. Also, my mother is coming in a few weeks. Someone would need to get her from the airport.
He stops, looks at the garage wall, waits. Brandon is quiet, his eyes forward, the offer moving through him, not emotionally, practically first. 3 months, the math assembling itself without being invited, short-term but significant, enough to change the shape of things at home. When it ends, he finds something else. He always does. Carter shifts slightly, about to fill the silence.
Deal.
Carter exhales, just slightly. The particular release of someone who wasn't sure and is now sure.
When can you start?
Tomorrow afternoon?
Tomorrow afternoon, then.
Brandon nods, and then he smiles, not the polite acknowledgement he gives the world. Small, unguarded, the kind that lives only in quiet rooms and small moments when no one is supposed to be watching. Except this time someone is watching, and it's directed at him. Carter sees it, goes still for just a moment, caught off guard by the specific quality of it, the way it changes the whole geography of Brandon's face. Then, he smiles back. Carter is on the couch of the penthouse. Shoes off, jacket thrown over the arm, the posture of someone who sat down and forgot to move. The espresso machine in the kitchen untouched, the television off. He's just looking at the ceiling, the dawn drive replaying without his permission, the empty streets, the pale light, the conversation that kept giving him more than he expected. 2 things sitting with him that he can't put down. Brandon lives with his mother and grandmother. No one else mentioned, no one waiting up. And that smile. He has met beautiful people his entire adult life, on sets, at events, in rooms specifically populated with them. He has learned to receive beauty as a category, something that registers and passes, an occupational fact. That smile was different, not because of what it looked like, because of what it cost. The sense that it didn't come easily, that it wasn't performed, that it arrived in spite of itself. The smile of someone who forgot for 1 second not to. He wants to know what else is in there. Behind the short answers and the still hands and the eyes that take everything in and give almost nothing back. He wants. Carter looks at the screen. Desmond. He holds it, lets it ring once more, takes a breath, answers.
Hey.
Hey. Returning your call. What's up?
Dad's anniversary is coming up. The 14th. I was just thinking about you.
I didn't realize. But then, it's not like I had much reason to keep track. He wasn't exactly present when he was alive. Being dead doesn't change a whole lot for me.
Carter is quiet. He knows this tone. He knows exactly where this lives in Desmond, and he doesn't try to talk him out of it.
I know.
Do you?
I'm not calling to tell you how to feel about him. I wanted to hear your voice. Make sure you are doing okay.
I'm doing okay.
I was thinking, after this film wraps, I can make a stop in Japan. I thought maybe we could hang, get dinner. If you're interested.
Desmond doesn't answer immediately. Carter can hear him thinking, or deciding.
It depends on my schedule.
I know. No pressure.
A long silence. Then, slowly, like a door opening just enough to let light through, but not yet a person.
But, if I'm available, I'll take you up on it.
That means a lot. Thank you, Des.
I have to head out. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Good night, Des.
The call ends. Carter holds the phone in both hands. Looks at it. 2 conversations in one morning. both of them cracking something open that he usually keeps sealed. He sets the phone on the cushion beside him, lies back, closes his eyes. For the first time, in a long time, he falls asleep without reaching for the bottle on the nightstand. Act 1, Part 10, Sketchbook. Brandon stands beside a black VIP-style van in the private bay of the Royal Taipei. Dark clothing, keys not yet in hand, watching the glass doors. They open. Carter comes through, sunglasses on, bag over one shoulder, moving at the unhurried pace of someone who knows where he's going. He sees Brandon and crosses to him directly. He holds out the van keys without ceremony.
Afternoon. Thought this would be more comfortable, less conspicuous.
Brandon takes the keys, says nothing about this, opens the rear door for Carter to get in, closes it, moves to the driver's side. Behind the wheel feels more familiar now. He settles into it immediately. The van rolls through the studio gates. Brandon takes it in through the windshield, the scale of it, the sprawl. People everywhere, moving with purpose, or the performance of it. Period costumes alongside cargo pants and headsets. A woman in a Victorian dress scrolling her phone. 2 men in samurai armor eating from paper plates. Brandon looks, says nothing. Carter watches him take it in.
Lot F. You can see it from here. Down that row, trailers on the left.
Brandon follows the direction, pulls down the lot road. Carter's trailer visible ahead, name on the door. He parks, gets out, opens the rear sliding door.
Next time I'm sitting up front. I'm not doing the back seat again.
Brandon takes that in without comment.
The trailer's open. It's going to be a long shooting day, so make yourself comfortable inside. I'll text when it's time for lunch or wrapping up.
Brandon finds a bench in a shaded stretch between 2 sound stages, sketchbook open on his knee. The scene in front of him, people, costumes, cables, carts, the whole sprawling machinery of it, feeding directly into his hand. But the drawing isn't realistic. Not a record of what's there. The figures are distorted. The structure's warped. The whole thing pulling towards something darker. Chaotic lines, heavy shadows, the feeling of the place more than the fact of it. He sketches for hours, being somewhere else entirely. A shadow falls across the page. Brandon looks up. Carter is standing there blocking the light without meaning to.
You hungry? Lunch is up. Craft services is inside the studio.
Okay.
The spread is generous. Long tables, mostly American options. Some Asian dishes at the far end. People filling plates, finding seats. The volume of a room that has nowhere quiet to be. Brandon moves through it quietly. Fills a plate without deliberating. Finds a spot at a corner table slightly removed from the main floor. He's barely settled when Tao appears, the young PA from the trailer door, and drops into the seat beside him without asking. The easy familiarity of someone who has decided they are going to be friendly and is not particularly interested in whether it's reciprocated. Brandon receives him without moving away. At the far end, a table set apart, Carter already seated. Wong beside him, plate in hand. Angela, the director, across from them both. Wang spots Brandon the moment he sits down.
Looks like your driver is fitting in well.
Is that supposed to mean something?
No, just didn't think that would be your type.
He's not my type. He's just my driver. That's it.
Then, I guess you won't mind if I go introduce myself?
Go right ahead.
He stands, heads in the direction of Brandon and Tao's table. Angela turns in her chair. She notices Brandon immediately. The stillness, the slight distance he keeps even in a room full of people, Something in his eyes, even from here, a particular kind of carried weight, old and settled, the kind that doesn't announce itself. She turns back to Carter.
He's very beautiful. You can see it just looking at him. Something fragile in there. Something sad. Be careful, Car.
Carter looks across the room at Brandon, who is now joined by others in the crew. Wong Zan is seated next to Brandon and Tao, along with their co-star Zhao Shili, 24 years old and already on the cover of everything. The table has the easy boisterousness of people who have never once worried about taking up too much space. Tao looks slightly nervous, slightly starstruck. Zhao beams the way he always beams. Warm, genuine, the particular brightness of someone the industry has decided is the boy next door, and who happens to actually be one. Brandon is different. He listens, takes them in, doesn't engage beyond what's required, doesn't move away. Huang Zhan leans in slightly, saying something in Mandarin. Tao laughs. Zhao laughs first. Brandon's expression shifts. Not a smile exactly, but something in that direction. The door cracking open, just slightly. The same quality Carter has been trying to find all week. Carter watches it from across the room, then looks down at the table. The trailer is warm and still, the lot quieter now, the day running long. Brandon is on the couch, eyes closed, one arm across his chest, the other fallen to his side, not deeply asleep, the sleep of someone who learned early to rest wherever and whenever the opportunity appeared. The sketchbook is open on the small table beside him, a drawing facing up, dense, expressive, a figure moving through a city that doesn't exist yet. Carter steps in, sees Brandon immediately, goes still. He looks at him for a moment, the unfamiliar sight of Brandon unguarded, the stillness of his face without the watchfulness in it. Then his eyes move to the sketchbook. He crosses to it carefully, lifts it without disturbing the table, finds the nearest chair and sits, turns the page, then another. The world inside the book opens up slowly, and it's nothing like the man who made it. Figures caught in mid-feeling, structures that breathe, cities that grieve, pages of dense black line work, alongside bursts of something almost frantic, color and motion, and a kind of hunger that has nowhere else to go. Carter turns each page slowly, stays with them. There is real talent here, not potential, not the careful work of someone trying, something fully formed and completely unwitnessed. Brandon's eyes open. Carter is sitting in the chair 2 feet away, sketchbook open in his hands, going through it with the focused attention of someone who has been there a while. Brandon sits up.
Sorry, I wasn't supposed to. I fell asleep. That's not...
It's fine. Looks like you needed it.
Brandon looks at the sketchbook. Something tightens slightly in his expression.
I hope you don't mind. I went through it.
Brandon looks at it. His pages, his private language, the thing he does in the dark at 3 a.m. when no one is watching.
There's nothing to see. I don't mind.
These are incredible. I mean that. The way you draw the structures, the people around them, the feeling in them. You're very talented. You have to know that.
It doesn't pay the bills.
The words land clean and final, not angry, just true, the specific truth of someone who made peace with something a long time ago and doesn't need it reopened. Carter looks at him, holds it a moment, reads the room, understands where the line is. He sets the sketchbook on the table, gently, back the way he found it.
I've got the rest of the night off. We can head out.
I'll bring the car around.
He steps out, sketchbook in hand, then the door closes behind him. Carter sits in the empty trailer, looks at the table where the sketchbook was, The drawings cycling through his mind, all that life, all that feeling, living in a book under a bed in Wanhua, brought out only when no one is supposed to be watching. He sits with that for a moment, then gets up, grabs his jacket, heads out into the evening. Brandon pulls into the private garage, finds the spot, cuts the engine. Carter is in the passenger seat. He moved up front as promised, but the ride was quiet, not the comfortable quiet of the dawn drive. Something tighter than that. Brandon glances at Carter's hands without meaning to. A faint tremor, the knuckles slightly pale. There's a sheen at his temple, too warm for the air-conditioned car. Carter reaches into the back seat, searches, checks again. His jaw tightens.
What are you looking for? I can go find it.
Don't bother. I left it in the trailer.
I can head back. What is it?
A long silence, a heavy exhale. Carter weighing something.
Black bag. I left it in the bathroom.
I'll head back then.
Carter thanks him, then gets out of the car. He moves toward the private entrance without looking back, his gait careful, controlled. Brandon watches him go inside, then puts the car in reverse. Act 1, Part 11. Black Bag. Brandon lets himself into the trailer, crosses straight to the bathroom, doesn't look around. The bag is on the sink, black, small, unzipped. He picks it up. As he lifts it, the side pocket catches the edge of the sink. A pill bottle drops, hits the tile floor. The cap, already loose, not properly sealed, pops free on impact. Pills scatter, white, oval, each one the size of a thumbnail, rolling across the bathroom floor in every direction. Brandon crouches immediately, picks up the bottle, looks at it. No label, no pharmacy sticker, no prescription information, nothing. He sets the bottle on the sink, starts collecting the pills one by one, placing them back into the bottle. He counts without meaning to. 20. Maybe more. He gets to the last one. Stops, holds it in his palm, small and unremarkable, but familiar. He pulls out his phone, does a photo search. The result comes back quickly. He looks at the screen, reads it, looks at the pill in his palm again. Xanax. He sits with that for a moment, very still, the bathroom light humming above him. He knows this drug, not abstractly, specifically, personally, the particular shape it carved through his family a few years ago, his mother, briefly, during one of her worst episodes, the way it made her someone else, the way it was so much harder to come back from than anyone warned. He places the last pill in, caps the bottle carefully, properly this time, pressing until it clicks, tucks it back into the side pocket, zips the bag closed, stands, looks at himself in the bathroom mirror for a moment, something moving through his expression, not judgment, not panic, something quieter and older than either of those things. Recognition. Carter is already there, standing just outside the elevator foyer, waiting. He looks like a man trying not to look like he's waiting. The tremor in his hands has gotten worse, the sheen at his temple still there. He's holding himself together with the particular effort of someone who has done it before and knows how much it costs. Brandon steps out, black bag in hand. Carter's eyes go straight to it, the relief immediate and visible, His shoulders drop a fraction. His jaw unclenches. He reaches for the bag. Brandon shoves it into his chest, hard, both hands, the kind of force that stops a person. Carter stumbles back a half step, grabs the bag reflexively, looks at Brandon. Brandon's eyes are flat, controlled, but there's something burning underneath.
Side pocket. They spilled out of the bottle. I know what those are. If I'd known sooner, I wouldn't have taken this job.
He sets the van keys on the dresser by the elevator. The sound of them landing cuts through the quiet.
Fine by me if you want to kill yourself, but I don't need to witness it.
Wait! Please! Before you...
There's nothing to explain.
Please!
Carter runs a hand through his hair, the tremor visible. He's sweating and he knows Brandon can see it, and there is nowhere to put that.
I take them when I need to. I've been cutting back, trying to manage on less. I'm trying. I'm not an addict.
Brandon says nothing and makes another movement towards the exit.
I need you to stay. I'll double what I pay you, $4,000 a week.
The number lands in the air between them. Brandon looks at him, really looks at him. The shaking hands, the pale face, the eyes of a man who may be telling the truth. Brandon picks up the keys.
I'll drive you anywhere you need to go. Except when you need more of those. That's where I draw the line.
Okay.
I mean it.
I know. Thanks.
Brandon puts the van keys in his pocket, turns, steps back into the elevator, doesn't look back. Brandon stands alone as the floors drop. He looks straight ahead. The anger is there, clean and specific and real. He thinks about the penthouse, the car, the $4,000 a week, the unlabeled bottle, the shaking hands. He thinks about a man who has everything, the kind of everything that Brandon has spent his entire life watching other people have from the outside. Wealth, fame, a city that rearranges itself around his needs, a penthouse above Taipei with a view that costs more than Brandon's building is worth. What does a man like that know about pain? What could he possibly know about needing something to get through the night? About taking what you're given and making it enough because there was never going to be more?
If you're a slow burn BL fan and you found this, welcome home. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You're going to want to be here for every part.